Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Baha Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Baha Hashem, Baha Dash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my heavenly big brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to your apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, great millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like, for example, Hebrew Israelite that look like so-called white person, or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up about Esau, Amalek. Gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability. Say whatever I gotta say through the spirit and the power. Yahweh Bashim Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak, Dash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
To this day, Zionists are seeking condemnations from anyone and everyone for what is essentially a hoax. And everyone gave them these condemnations. Right. When in reality, the international community and all these people that were offering up condemnations of alleged sexualized torture and alleged systemic rape had historically completely ignored all the testimonies from Palestinians alleging and testifying to this sort of violence being inflicted upon them.
Can you talk about the, every accusation is a confession, and how much Palestinians, especially on October 7th, have been accused of rape, how much the media repeated that, how much they covered the rape that had no documentation, and how much they ignored the rape that has been documented?
I mean, yes, of course.
I mean, you have, man, look, them small head niggas been raping people that's of the press, killing them too. But then also, what else? Prisoners, of course. And what else? The children, of course. Them niggas will rig up toys, put strap bombs on toys, canned food, or empty cans. You thinking it's food in there, they'll put a bomb in that bitch instead. Anyway, booby traps. What else? I mean, this video is about look. Israelis, what how you pronounce this word? Let me go and check this shit out. I forgot how you pronounce this word.
Depravity
exposed by, and they're not Israel. They're Amalek, by the way. They're not nowhere near being Israel. They just live in the land, but they ain't the people. They're just a bunch of gilder rat niggers, Edomites. Was exposed by bombshell report, training dogs to rape. Those are not the holy people, bro. Shit, no. And I don't even know why these people keep calling them Israel. Damn. They're Amalek.
It's been, I mean, this entire state and its population seem to be in complete...
The shit they do shows you these niggas are not the people. And plus the shit they say.
Agreement that this allegation...
This is Talmud behavior right here.
...of systemic mass rape is, a justification for a subsequent genocide of the Palestinian people. And yet our research on the contrary has documented that the systemic and institutionalized rape and torture is actually used against Palestinians by Israel. And so, of course, on October 7, within a few hours, the first thing we observed was that these Western depictions of Arabs and Muslims as dangerous, these depraved beings that have savages that have no control.
It's like Esau just falsely accused. And you gonna have some motherfuckers be that way. But then what come to Esau? This nigga, man, this what happened when the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Shit. Let me get back to the video because I don't want to get angry.
Control over sexual impulses had unleashed their violence against these innocent Israeli women that were simply living, or going.
Even though they're doing this to heathens, but still, it kind of bothers you when you got people that claiming to be you, but you know what I'm saying, they stole your identity, and these people stay hooked on calling them the chosen people in a way, or calling them Israel when they're not.
To a rape, going to and that's
a rape, I know.
Yeah, rape, and immediately these racialized constructions of Palestinian Arab and Muslim men were propagated in the media, were taken as absolute truth, and were laundered, and to this day, Zionists and Zionists are seeking condemnations from anyone and everyone for a hoax, for what is essentially a hoax. When in reality, and everyone gave them these condemnations.
Right.
When in reality, the international community and all these people that were offering up condemnations of alleged sexualized torture and alleged systemic rape had historically completely ignored all the testimonies from Palestinians alleging and testifying to this sort of violence being inflicted upon them. And so, what we saw immediately was that there was this security threat created against a colonizer that is moral, a colonizer that is, just, or a colonizer that is peaceful and doesn't really have anything to do with the state to which they belong. So, these constructions of Muslim and Palestinian men took off, and these logics were then sort of enshrined as theology. That Palestinians are just existential threats in order to justify extreme violence.
Hey, that's like you Israelites, man. You can say Esau, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's raising his baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigga named Amalek. See the same about you Israelites. Shit.
In order to justify genocide in the name of security and defense, and that was part of these.
But this is what happened when the earth is given to the hands of wicked, when the wicked bear rule the people more.
Mass rape accusations with genocidal intent. And so we say and we assert in this report that these allegations in and of themselves were leveraged with genocidal intent. Essentially what happened was that these volunteers at a Zionist organization, this ultra-Orthodox Israeli search and rescue organization, were first responders to scenes that simply did not exist. They collected testimonies from Israeli women who seemed to not exist. And if they do exist, then they were killed afterwards. And that was taken as complete fact. These media organizations that tout these journalistic standards, that tout adherence to neutrality or
Oh yeah, I forgot who, and I'll pause the video for a minute, 41 seconds. I'll probably show about your mouth shot. I was gonna say who else they be doing raping or graping. Well, them folks that come on those boats to bring in aid. Oh yeah, the many accounts they talk about. Yeah, they do shit. Well, I played one video with this one woman. They did some shit to her ass. Y'all, they should have knew better. They should have fucking knew better. Shit. But anyway, them folks that come in those boats, them Greta Hungerburgers, you don't hear nothing from her ass because she one of those fucking people. But anyway, all them dumbasses that be following her that bitch, they goddamn end up getting tortured and raped and shit. Hey, goddamn, y'all should know them better, but whatever. Anyway, humanitarian people, yeah, and them gutter rats show you how they get down.
Completely ignored all of these criteria that they need to verify this sort of allegation against an entire nation. The allegation that the Palestinian people and Hamas, the political party, members of this party, engaged in systemic rape on October 7. And these,
that's all bullshit. They rolled the red carpet for them niggas. And then plus they damn disabled all they AI turret guns or whatever. And then plus what did they do? They implemented some shit called what was that shit called? The shoot your own people up protocol. What that shit called? Hannibal Director. When they go and shoot up their own citizens and shoot up their own soldiers, and then they accuse and say Hamas did it. They were gunning and shooting up the shit out of them motherfuckers.
Media laundered and propagated
blowing their asses up.
This hoax as total truth, but also importantly, NGOs and nonprofits played a really important part in propagating it. They completely disregarded any sort of legal threshold that they use otherwise to verify these allegations.
Another thing too. I seen they had that it was a movie based on October 7th. You cannot get that shit. I tried looking for that shit. It was I think it was Paramount. Yeah, Amalek, they own the hell out of Paramount. But anyway, I tried getting that shit. It was months ago, bro. You can't download that shit. It was like a limited. Yeah, cause they know it was bullshit. And no, it was hard to get the damn movie because it was bullshit. I want to see if I can try to find that crap. I'm gonna let this video play while I'm trying to look for it.
In a few months, these reports and papers, tens of pages, were coming out from these organizations, including Physicians for Human Rights Israel, which at the same time is trying to stop the genocide in Gaza. They released a paper after 1 month exactly on November 7th that was titled "Sexual and Gender-Based Violence as a Weapon of War." And so, now we were in using the war framework, which completely doesn't work, as I mentioned, for this sort of dynamic. And so, UN Women immediately invited Israeli women to talk about the systemic mass rape that allegedly happened.
Right.
The last thing I want to mention is the absolute disaster of an article, which just screams without words.
Yeah.
I see they got this movie or documentary bearing witness to the massacre, and they gave this shit a 4.1. That shit sucked. Cause they know it was bullshit. Spider-Man. Ain't funny, man. I'm starting to see a whole lot of movies and TV shows where people got telekinesis. Cause they got the new Spider-Man movie. They got Jean Grey in the movie, and she got telekinesis. Yeah. And then they coming out with a TV show, Carrie, the Carrie TV show, and you know about her. She got telekinesis. And then they got a game called Control Resident coming out September. I want to get that shit. And this guy got him and his sister telekinesis. And they control things with their mind. Yeah. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff related to that. Anyway, I noticed.
It screams without words.
Well, this movie sucked. And this shit. That wasn't the movie I was looking to find, but whatever.
Shared this harrowing story, allegedly, of this Israeli woman that was raped, later killed, and her own family came out and was like,
we don't think she was raped.
We didn't agree for you to publish this. This actually happened.
So it was a lie. Anyway, that's what Edomites do. Fucking niggers. Psalm chapter 144 verse 11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of the strange children whose mouth speak of vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. Everything about them is fake and is a lie. Let's get to the next one. And then I'm like, who you fooling, nigga? Anyway, let's get to the next one.
Tools from Harbor Freight.
My damn speaker went out again. I gotta charge it up.
Line in.
And hard work in real garages across America. Like it.
Look at this shit. They like protesting. It says Tel Aviv protest turns violent as that was 4 days ago. Tel Aviv protest turns violent as police clash with demonstrators over rising selling violence. Well, why are they this shouldn't be. They supposed to be living in peace. They're protesting. They're the chosen. Hashem would not like this. Yeah, there's division. They don't like some gutter rats don't like what the settlers are doing. They bringing violence to those people that live over there in the land, even though they're not original inhabitants of that land. But it's division though still.
Who are witnessing ethnic cleansing and the evacuation of their homes, but it's also endangering all of us.
She got thick ass eyebrows. love it, bro. I love it. These rats are attacking each other. God dang, man. You got to love this, bro. You got to love seeing the sight of your enemies damn tearing each other apart. They protesting against this, and man, I love it. Amalek is falling. Esau is falling. Oh man. Oh man, the Lord is the Lord is exposing these niggers.
The reason I'm here today is because what we've seen coming out of the West Bank just the past week, but the past months and years is horrifying, it's immoral, and we believe that it is endangering not only Palestinians.
This does count as uproars of the people. Anyway, enough of all that shit. Goddamn rats. But I love it though. I love it. I love seeing the division amongst my enemies. The Lord's enemies, man. Amalek. Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. It's the end for these people. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Shit. They all about to go. You got some Israelites amongst the heathens. She might be one. She ain't that bad looking. You got this old dude right here. He could be one. I don't know. But anyway, I can tell you this shit is happening. Division. Let's get to the next one. Oh yeah, another video about settlers. This was about protest against them settlers, and this is just straight up about settlers.
That's my old bill. $156. My new
Come on, nigga.
It's Saturday morning in the Palestinian village of Al-Muraya in the occupied West Bank. Israeli settlers have entered the village and surrounded the Abu Alia family home. We're just watching.
Look at this little rat. Look at the little rat.
Family home.
Little dingy hair looking rat. Look at that nigga. Ooga, they look like cave people. They're little inbred looking fucking niggas.
We're just watching settlers come into the village here in Al-Muraya. The mosque is calling on people to come and protect the families. The Israeli army is in the streets. Residents are blocking roads and running from the jeeps. We've just heard 2 shots fired from down lower in the village at the Abu Alia family house. We've heard the family calling for help. This is what passes for a normal weekend now in Al-Muraya.
Look at these rats. Look at these fucking rats.
And in villages across the West Bank. You might feel like you're constantly hearing about worsening violence in the West Bank, about Israeli settlements expanding. But these
She need to take cover. Hell, them rats might take shots at her ass and probably rape her.
Isolated headlines don't capture the daily reality on the ground in a single village or in a single family. We're spending the week in these Palestinian villages south of Nablus, talking to people I met here a year ago to show how quickly control of this landscape is changing and how local attacks by settlers here are just the tip of a national project to bring West Bank land under Israeli control. What happened at the Abu Alia house that Saturday has
Look at that little nigga. He's like, ooga, ooga, ooga. Ooga, ooga, let me get in. Ooga.
become a familiar
Like a bunch of cave people.
routine. Footage
Little
filmed
baby rats.
from the family compound shows young settlers beating on the gate with clubs. Soldiers stroll up and gently move them away. From inside, a woman screams at the settlers to leave as they smash the gate again and again.
Man, them folks fearing for their life. You don't know what these little niggers gonna do.
The soldiers
Look at
standing
this little wild cave nigga. What was the point of that? Charging at the fence and hitting the fence like, what is that gonna do?
beside them make no attempt to question, detain, or even confiscate their clubs. At the other end of the main street, ambulances and residents try to reach the scene. But slipping past Israeli soldiers has become a dangerous game. Residents, journalists and medics have all been shot in the West Bank during
Journalists, medics, the press, they don't give a fuck.
military operations. You know where the army is now? On the right. On the right, by the Abu Alia house? Yes. We're trying to reach the house where settlers are gathered to see what's happening firsthand. So we're being told the army is moving perhaps a bit closer.
Hi, you see the soldiers?
Soldiers appear in the road, meters ahead.
Ooh. This nigga here muzzling a gun at them.
It's pointing.
Trying to find a place we can see what's going on clearly. The army keeps moving around. I can smell the tear gas they're firing. Not entirely sure where the settlers are at the moment. We head to the roof of a nearby house. We asked the Israeli army several times this year to film with them on patrol in the West Bank, but haven't yet been allowed to join them.
Hey guys, the army's not happy.
They don't want us to record them. He doesn't want you filming? No. Okay, we can see the army right down below us. But they've made it clear they're motioning for us to go. On the roof, we meet Shahed, 8.5 months pregnant, watching without a flicker. As Israeli forces fire live rounds and stun grenades and launch tear gas canisters into the fields, setting them ablaze. From the roof, we watch a dozen settler vehicles drive freely out of the village as more military jeeps arrive in Al-Mughaya, heading for the Abu Alia house. Israel's army said it was responding to reports of a confrontation between Palestinians and Israeli civilians, and that later, masked Palestinians had used slings to hurl stones at soldiers. It said forces...
They using they slinging stones and rocks at these niggas. But instead, these rats are shooting hot lead. Hot lead, maybe some explosives. I mean, shit. They talking about in and out deadly mass shooting. You know they gotta be Esau. Oh yeah, that was Esau. Goddamn mass shooting at a damn burger joint. Oh my goodness, but this place sucks. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna get wild up in here, man.
Fired towards a suspect, and that a hit was identified. We're here on the roof right next to the house of the family. They said this happened every day, every week. And here we are. We watch from the edge of the compound as the army finally withdraws.
Man, you can't get no rest for these wicked ass niggas, man. Shit. Hey, man. Let me get a scripture. Let me see what I get. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And you see that right now with with Esau, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's raising his baby, they sucking foreskin, eating Jewish faggot nigga named Amalek. Nigga don't get, and he's the worst of the worst. Amalek is the worst of all Edomites. He a damn nigger. Hey, I stopped looking for this damn movie. What was it? The Children of October 7th, a documentary focusing on young survivors and the impact of children who lost family members and homes, streaming on platform like, get the fuck out of here. They just all this bullshit. It's all bullshit, just like the Holocaust. All that Holocaust bullshit. This is all bullshit, nigga. And they trying to paint themselves as victims. Look what they niggas are doing. They being villains. They being the terrorists among other people. Fucking monkeys. And look at this. Hundreds of IDFs refused order and ran away from base in Israel. Let's see what that's about. Oh, come on. Yeah, they want to start fucking with my internet, huh? Yeah. Okay, there we go.
100 soldiers stage mass walkout at southern IDF base after row with their commander. Official says that serious disciplinary incident unfolded after battalion commander destroyed decorative signs soldiers from Givati Battalion's Tsabar Brigade put up in Sde Teman. Sde Teman, that's where they rape and abuse Palestinians. Do you remember when they let a dog rape a Palestinian and when they were raping them with objects and all sorts? And the Israeli rapist was celebrated in Israeli media and the Israelis were cheering him and clapping for him for raping a Palestinian and protecting and defending him?
If anybody say these are the Lord's people, man, I mean, yeah, you deserve what's coming for you. For anybody that, I mean, these motherfuckers are not the people. Shit.
That place. Now they're staging a mass walkout, but
IDF soldiers, some of them, I don't know, they walking out for.
the reason that the Israeli
Yeah, because I mean, there's got to be another reason. There's not something to do. I don't think it has nothing to do with them. They don't like when other men raping other men, or either they train dogs to rape their prisoners. I don't think it has nothing to do with that.
media speaking, but it's a little bit pathetic, isn't it? Oh, he took out a decoration or whatever. Really? You know, what they're not telling you is they were supposed to be deployed to Gaza.
That's why. Yeah, they were about to go out, be sent out to fight. They don't want to.
Israel is still attacking in Gaza, and despite the recent statements that they're going to allow the transitional government/authority in, and some of the international forces, including Moroccan, Bosnian, Kazakhstan, I think too, bit by bit, Netanyahu was also, well, firstly, there's some of them are still on the ground, and he would either have to replace them. We're not talking about a large-scale operation, although that can happen at any point in Gaza. Don't be surprised if that happens, just for the sake of Netanyahu. But we're talking about the minimal deployments that they want to keep the genocide functioning and ongoing.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck
going in Gaza. They were supposed to go there, and they stage a mass walkout because they don't want to go. Why? Because, well, these people, he's been constantly extending their service. 2 female soldiers killed themselves the other day.
Them curses. Yeah, them curses fall upon our enemies. Yeah, man, and them bitches shouldn't be in the military in the first place. Yeah, but Lord put a spirit on them and blow their brains out.
In one of the Israeli bases because they had mental health problems, and
oh man, mental health problems, bitch, please.
The army forced them to stay there. Many of them kill themselves on a regular basis. They keep.
Yeah, they show up. They're becoming normal in their military, the IDF.
People with mental health problems, physical problems, whatever.
Damn demons jumping on their ass.
There's just because there's shortage. And in the meantime, Netanyahu is giving exemption to his coalition for serving. That also makes the serving soldiers angry. So all of that led to more frustration, and they're storming out, literally, as you can see. They're storming out of the base, not listening to their commander, talk about the most disciplined army in the world, right? The most moral army in the world.
Yeah. And first off, you know, they claim to be the Lord's people, but what the hell they doing fighting wars and shit? They don't want to be fighting. No, look at the weapons. Look at all these guns. Look at all these swords. Look at all these swords. What the Lord said in Isaiah. Let's get it there. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Their weapons of warfare. A lot of them weapons, majority of them are made out of metal. Why they're not, you know, there's metal, polymer, whatever, but mostly metal. Why these bitches ain't destroyed yet? Why these swords ain't destroyed? A modern day sword be a gun, starting from the gun to the nuclear bomb. Why these swords right here ain't destroyed? Because these people that claim to be the people are not the fucking people. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and speckled birds, Israelites that look like that he might look like they got Israelites. Shoot, but the Lord knows who is who, and you should know damn well these brats are not the people. You gonna have Israelites amongst them niggas, but the majority of them are not the people. Cause this shit, this right here hasn't hit this prophecy hasn't happened yet, but it soon will be when Yahweh Shah return. That's another thing. Who y'all in there call Jebus? He ain't here. His name ain't Jebus. It's Yahweh Shah. King David ain't here. 144,000 ain't established yet. Yeah, but these people are not the people. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Neither shall they learn war anymore. And these niggas don't even want to go to war. They like, man, you gonna send us out? No fair. They want to keep raping men. Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to continue raping men that they got locked up in prison. That's all they want to do.
World and the most disciplined army in the world. If there is anyone that had a smithereen of morality in this army of terror, they would have left it a long time ago, at any cost.
Yeah.
But that's one of those statements that Israel likes to regurgitate in its propaganda machine, the most moral army in the world. Alongside, we have a right to defend ourselves, and we have a right to exist, and we have
a right to rape men in bondage.
A right, and we have a right, and we're entitled to it. But now you can see them rebelling, right? That's literally internal rebellion. You don't refuse orders in the army. Everyone knows that. But they're doing it not for the sake of, not killing innocent civilians. No, they enjoy that. It's a sadistic society. It's about not doing it because Netanyahu is giving exemption to someone else. And that is why Netanyahu is using the United States to have the operation against Iran. That's why they're trying to
merge. But you might as well say, even if they're just announcing that they merge, but they been in cahoots with one another, been that way for the longest.
Cause more problems and frictions regionally, so that they may have countries participating in
I thought he was going to talk about merging, but whatever.
Any sort of ludicrous adventure against Iran with a ground invasion, either on the borders or, for example, on one of the islands. And they would go in and fight Israel's war. That is the situation that we have here. So, what's going to happen with the United States and Iran? That's the most pressing question. And of course, there was also an escalation in Lebanon today. Israel yesterday killed 7 innocent people in Gaza, including 2 children. Israel is still butchering infants in their sleep in Gaza.
Yep. Alright. What happened when the earth was given to the hands of the wicked? The wicked bear rule the people more. Oh well. Shit. As long as you ain't fucking with my people, which they are. Let's get to this next one.
Well, yesterday, maybe you heard about this massive migration crisis into Spain. Thousands upon thousands of migrants crossed the border, breaching the border in Ceuta, Spain. The numbers are about 50,000 people had swarmed in. 50,000 people in the course of a day swarmed in, creating a humanitarian crisis.
Look, they got the gates wide open. They swarmed in. They got the gates wide open.
This is creating an absolute crisis. Ceuta, by the way, is a city in Spain or an area in Spain that only has about 80,000 people. So 50,000 people suddenly showing up is a massive, massive crisis. And of course, a part of this crisis is the fact that there's the Schengen zone throughout Europe.
They're coming out of a dump truck.
And that means once you get into Europe, you can pretty much go anywhere. There's no real border checks. It's pretty open.
Creating chaos. And you gotta say is Israel, Amalek accused of flooding Muslim migrants into Spain. Creating chaos.
everywhere. And so this created a lot of panic throughout Europe. The Italians closed their borders to Spain. You cannot fly directly anymore from Spain to Italy without, they're not doing like open flights and open borders between the two countries. Italy has completely closed its borders to Spain at this point, so you'd have to show a lot of documentation and whatnot. They've also, the Italians have worked with the French on ensuring that their northern borders are secured as well. But let me just show you exactly where Ceuta is, though, because a lot of people think Ceuta is on mainland Europe, and it is not. It's actually in Africa. It is one of the regions in northern Africa that Spain still has control over. Spain has had control over Ceuta for hundreds of years. I believe it's been in their possession since, I don't know, 1550 something. It's been in their possession for a really, really long time. Ceuta was at one point colonized by or in the control of the Romans. It's been under the Byzantine control. It's been under the Arab empires that have come through. It's just kind of been in everybody's hands. And the population of Ceuta is about half Christian, half Muslim. They all speak Spanish and Arabic. They live harmoniously together. There's not a lot of people there. So 50,000 people swarming in was a pretty big deal. Here's what's interesting. About 48,000 have already left. So 50,000 swarm in. We see images of them being bussed in, trucked in, essentially. I don't know if we have some of the footage of that. Let me see if I can kind of fast forward through some of this footage so we can see what was going on here. Look at this. They're actually being, look at this. There's a government official.
Somebody, he's just standing there watching. You know this shit is orchestrated. Come on, man. This shit is clearly. Ain't anybody believe that, oh, they just stormed in there. They just bum rushed their way in. They just kicked in the gates and they stole a dump truck. Nigga, this shit is orchestrated, bro. By Amalek.
Here.
The chosen people, so-called.
I mean, somebody in a uniform. And these migrants are piling out. So
you just watching them come jumping out of the truck and make sure they safely get out of their truck.
This obviously caused alarm as to who is organizing this. Why would there be an official in uniform allowing all of these people, basically busing them to the border and then having them get out and run across? So a lot of questions here of how did 50,000 in the short period of time come barreling through like this? Why were many of them trucked over? You don't truck people over unless this is a coordinated effort.
And another thing too, it's a bunch of males. Young males. Yeah. You don't see no women, pregnant women, children, elderly people. No, just a bunch of males. Young males. Anyway.
So who was behind this? Why were they doing this? So lots of questions start popping up. And lately, all roads lead to Israel. So it looks like Israel and the Moroccans, the Israelis and the Moroccans, work together in order to flood these regions with migrants, in order to really upset Spain, potentially try to take territory from Spain, try to prove a point against Spain. If you remember, Spain has been very much a critic of Israel. They have been speaking out a lot against Israel. They've cut off a lot of diplomatic ties with Israel, and Netanyahu has even spoken out against Israel. This is what he's had to say, and at one point he even says, look, if you threaten us, you're going to pay an immediate price. And this is what Netanyahu said. This is, by the way, dubbed over with AI. It's a bit fast, and we did put it in English because he does do this in Hebrew.
From a USA Army Gold Star Dad.
Man, fuck that shit.
Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has slandered our heroes, the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world, and therefore I have ordered today to
a moral army of raping prisoners, even having dogs rape the prisoners.
expel Spain's representatives from the coordination center in Kiryat Gat after Spain chose again and again to stand against Israel. Whoever attacks the state of Israel instead of the terror regimes, whoever does this will not be our partner regarding the future of the region. I am not willing to tolerate this hypocrisy and this hostility. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a political war against us without paying an immediate price for it.
Okay, without paying an immediate price for it. So people are pointing this out and saying, it looks like the Israelis might have been behind this insane migrant crisis that obviously looks manufactured. If this were truly a humanitarian crisis that was organic, these people would have been fleeing a war zone. There would have been something that created this crisis that was more natural, like a natural disaster or a terrible war, something along those lines. But what we're seeing is specifically military-aged young men. So this was not families. You don't see women and children running across the border into Spain. We're seeing military-aged young men. We're seeing them trucked in by what looks like officials. And we see a massive number, bigger than we've ever seen in a single day, going into Spain. And this is all happening when Spain is speaking out against Israel. Spain is holding its ground against Israel, and Israel's saying, well, we're coming after you, basically. You guys are hypocrites, and we're...
Alright. Oh, yeah. Let's get to the last video.
This is the CJ Williman Show.
Hello, it's your friend CJ, and in this week's episode, we reveal how you can win every argument about Palestine with your Zionist friends, family, and work colleagues every single time. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show, and don't forget to turn your notifications on so you never miss a single episode. Now let's get into it. Look, we've all been there. You find yourself trapped in the comments section, or worse, at a family dinner, trying to engage with someone who is completely captured by the Zionist narrative. It often feels like you've run headfirst into a brick wall of soul-crushing memes and mindless talking points, designed by a public relations firm in Washington, D.C. But here's the secret. You keep asking them questions until they eventually feel stupid for regurgitating or parroting the Zionist talking point in the first place. But unfortunately, many pro-Palestine activists fall into the trap of getting bogged down in a 6-hour historical debate over 1948 or 1967, or which leader said what at the Oslo Peace Accords of 1993 or the Camp David Accords of 1978. It's a trap because the entire machinery of Zionist apologetics relies on very specific talking points and a very fragile script. And you don't beat a talking point by shouting louder than it. You beat a talking point by asking it a question it was never built to survive. Talking points are built to be said, they're not to be interrogated. You see, Zionist propaganda is a script. It's rehearsed, it's polished, and it's been focus group tested by Zionist groups for decades.
Defense, 50,000 dead. Jewish values, silent complicity. Ancient homeland, invented 1897. Self-hating Jew, Jew with brain and conscience. Never again, except now.
Zionists have only Hasbara, which is the Hebrew word for explaining. But in the context of Israeli propaganda, Hasbara is a public relations effort aimed at promoting Israel's image by denying its criminality and whitewashing its war crimes. But we are armed with facts, historical facts, and facts regarding international law, humanitarian law, and the United Nations are on our side, as is every major international human rights organization. Zionists, on the other hand, have lies, manipulation, and deceit to make you disbelieve a catalogue of evidence proving genocide. A catalogue that includes 64,000 videos and 18,000 photographs compiled by more than 300 journalists on the ground in Gaza during the past few years. You can access this database at archivegenocide.com. This irrefutable and damning evidence is why Israel is now the most hated country on earth, and why for the first time in US history...
Yeah. The Lord got... Hold on, let me get to it. The Lord hates Esau. He loves Jacob. But these niggas definitely ain't Jacob. They're Esau. Was it Exodus chapter 17 verse 16? For he said, because the Lord Yahweh have sworn that the Lord Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. This is the final generation. The Lord been having war with Amalek for so many generations, but now this is the last one. Nigga being revealed as being the wicked. Oh, the top size of low level Edomites. Shit, Amalek, that nigga's the worst. Let me get back to the video.
A clear majority of Americans now favor Palestine, but that doesn't mean Israel has given up. It has allocated a whopping $730 million for this current year to reverse global attitudes and sabotage support for Palestinians, which means your social media timelines and those of your friends are about to be hit with a tsunami of Hasbara.
The Israeli practice of shaping narratives is known as Hasbara, a Hebrew word that translates to explaining and refers to Israel's public diplomacy scheme devoted to shaping public opinion, whitewashing its image, and suppressing all negative commentary. Especially given that Israel is no stranger to criticism, given its decades-long illegal occupation of Palestine and its subjugation of Palestinians. The main objective of Hasbara is to portray Israel as the victim and delegitimize Palestinians and their struggle for freedom by creating doubts about the human rights violations it seeks to deny. And because Israel has such a robust PR machine at its disposal to shape the perception of its state, as well as pro-Israeli groups and lobbies around the world, it has been able to carry out military operations that many deem to be war crimes with near total impunity.
Hasbara is the act of a dying state that knows it never once held the moral or legal high ground, not before and certainly not now. Our mission must be to ensure that Zionist money and influence never allows the state of Israel to make a comeback in the court of public opinion. Because if it stays hated, it will soon be starved of diplomatic and economic support. It will simply dismantle and die. Therefore, the goal of this episode is to help you dismantle and defeat the Hasbara manufactured arguments every single time, like Palestinian physician Dr. Hada Hamid did during this now famous exchange.
live on stolen land, you drink stolen water, you eat stolen fruit. I find you fascinating, Mr. Dayan. I really do. I can't understand how you have such self-assurance. A man who was born in Argentina, whose family comes from the Ukraine, and is actually wanting people, sensible people, to believe that he has some connection with my country. You and your fellow settlers, nothing other than common thieves.
Obviously, we don't have the time to unpack every Zionist lie or talking point, but what we can provide is an easy-to-use three-step framework, with each weaponizing an undeniable truth about the Israeli occupation, starting with Step 1. Force the definition by setting the ethno-state trap. You see, Zionists will always try to frame the conversation around Israel's right to exist as a Jewish democratic state. But you can stop them right there by asking a simple question. How can a state be truly democratic if it legally privileges one ethnic or religious group over all others?
Is Israel a democracy?
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
It is, yes.
What makes Israel a democracy?
Well, you can vote, freedom of speech, anyone can say whatever they want.
Inshallah.
You can rape whatever you want, whoever.
שנותנת חופש ביטוי לערבים, נותנת להיות כאילו ערבים וכל מיני עדות אחרות בכנסת, נותנת הכל.
שהיא כן מדינה דמוקרטית, כי בסופו של דבר אני הולכת ומתלבשת איך שבא לי ואני מביאה המון מהדעות שלי.
عندنا جميع الأديان هون، عندنا الديانة اليهودية، المسيحية، الإسلام وكمان إحنا هون.
Hold on, let me go back. State your own opinions. Really? You can? Shit. Well, say something about your Israeli government. Shit. Well, I gotta say that they'll lock your ass up when it comes. I can't even damn say it. But it's censorship. Anyway.
عندنا جميع الأديان هون.
Says we have all religions.
الديانة اليهودية، المسيحية، الإسلام وكمان إحنا هون ندعم
We support you support the LGBTQ. You know damn well them niggas should. Them niggas are not the people.
نحكي الشواذ
Yeah, you be having those big ass pride parades.
من ناحية بلد.
So it seems like civil rights.
You just watched a bunch of Israeli Jews compare Israel's so-called democracy to the democratic character of European nation-states by citing freedom of speech, the right to vote, and so on and so on. But the comparison is total nonsense because no democracy in Europe privileges the rights of Christians while enshrining discriminatory laws against their religious minorities. For example, a citizen of France doesn't get citizenship based on their DNA, while indigenous French residents are denied their lawful right of return simply because they're not Jewish, as is the case with Israel's discriminatory citizenship laws. By forcing Zionists to defend the mechanics of an ethno-state, you've shifted the debate from Israel's survival to basic human rights. You've made them defend inequality, and in doing so, you have forced them to admit Israel isn't a democracy, as explained by Israeli historian Jeff Halper.
I mean, how can a Jew come from Ukraine to Palestine and say this country is mine and you Palestinians have no place here? You can't. I mean, if you didn't have a story to tell, you'd just be a criminal. You'd be some guy coming in and stealing somebody else's land. Well, I don't want to be that. So to justify what you're doing and explain what you're doing, you develop a whole narrative. God gave us this land, and this is ancient Israel, and we were driven out by the Romans, and now we're, a whole story like that.
This brings us to step 2. Cite the consensus, not your opinion. The moment you bring up human rights abuses, they will accuse you of bias.
They expose these people, and they're knowing that they're not the people. But who are the true people? They ain't gonna tell you that.
Or worse, anti-Semitism. It's their default shield. Do not get emotional. Do not take the bait.
But, it's good that these devils are being exposed, though, still.
Instead, step out of the ring and let the global consensus do the heavy lifting for you. You say, I'm not giving you my opinion, I am merely agreeing with the United Nations, the International Red Cross, Human Rights Watch, and Amnesty International. And when they tell you that the United Nations is biased, ask them if the largest, most respected human rights organizations on the planet are all part of this grand UN-led conspiracy. And then ask them if the UN was also biased when it established the State of Israel on stolen Palestinian land in 1948, and without consulting Palestinians or their Arab neighbors. Because when you rely on documented international law and exhaustive ground-level human rights reports, you are no longer arguing with them anymore. They are arguing with the entire civilized world, and they look unhinged doing it.
The UN Commission says Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. They claim this is the most authoritative UN finding to date, and it comes as Israel's pressing ahead with its incursion into Gaza City, with hundreds of thousands forced out once again. The 72-page report released on Tuesday concluded Israel committed 4 out of the 5 genocidal acts defined by the 1948 treaty that was meant to prevent genocide from happening again in the wake of World War II. In this case, they say those acts are 1. The killing of Palestinians in Gaza, 2. Causing serious bodily or mental harm, 3. Imposing measures intended to prevent births, and 4. Deliberately inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about the destruction of the Palestinian population. Now, a key factor in determining whether a genocide has been committed is proving intent, something the Commission says is there. It cites what it says are statements by top Israeli officials inciting genocide like this one.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
Step 3, the ultimate pivot to the present. Their final defense mechanism is always a history lesson. And by history, I mean Zionist revisionist history, in which they will drag you back to the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the Peel Commission, or the Nazi Holocaust. Why? Because it's easier to argue about ancient history than it is to defend an illegal occupation, a sniper shooting a child in Gaza, or a settler burning an olive grove in the West Bank today. Therefore, you must bring them back to the present with absolute relentless focus. Cut through the historical noise and ask, does any historical grievance from 80 or 100 years ago justify the ongoing military occupation, the blockade, the checkpoints, and the theft of land that is happening right now, this morning?
It's worth talking about the settlers themselves, because 70% of those who live in the West Bank are so-called quality of life settlers.
Ask people why they moved out here, and instead of the original mission to push forward the Israeli state, you hear things like
a very good educational system.
There's a very nice country club.
We want to be able to have a bigger place. We were looking for a Jerusalem suburb. The quality of life is so much better. It has nothing to do with politics.
Oh, hold on. It has nothing to do with politics? I'm sorry, but it very much does. Just because it's a nice place to live doesn't make it any less illegal under international law. It's not like the Geneva Convention says the occupying power shall not transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory it occupies unless there's like really convenient shopping and a super manageable commute to Jerusalem. Also, building on stolen land is an inherently political act, and it's worth talking about.
This is how you win. You don't let them make it about ancient maps or theological destiny.
Alright, I'm gonna start right there. If you want to watch the rest of it, which is ain't much, be my guest. They go to the title of it, they go to channel. Oh man, I'm about tired of these fucking devils. Yeah, they got a nigga out here shooting up the burger joint. Killed 7 of them. I think he said killed 7. Hey, that's oh, it says 1 employee was killed. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, goddamn 7 completion. It could be more than that. Goddamn, the play getting wild, man. This is what happens when this world is ruled by wicked ass people. Let me get to the last scripture. Oh man, I was gonna go to work today. I was like, man, fuck that. I don't even want to bother, man. I'm tired of this shit. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shah shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, using his prophets, exposing these devils, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him who's coming after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, who's coming after the working of Satan. Esau, even so-called white man, but he's not white. He's red. He's a baby dick sucking, foreskin eating, Jewish faggot nigga named Amalek. And that's all I gotta say. Man, I'm so tired of this place. But seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. Man, I don't know why, but boy, I be feeling so sleepy, and I just got up. Just got up, and I just feel so sleepy again, like draining. Shit. And I needed to do something today. Change the oil or change the fuel filter on my truck. I ain't even done that shit in a minute. And I need to. Shoot. But anyway. Need to get that dog a bath. I need to. She need to damn give herself a bath. That'd be nice. A dog that could be able to bathe her own self. That'd save me a lot of time. But anyway, no damn well that ain't gonna never happen. But you better make it happen by seeking the Lord, by seeking his prophets, and do all the things I said by, building a spiritual mental relationship with him. But to all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth, in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.